everyone, this is Warhawk Beyond 2040, and welcome to another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. And today I am going to be taking a look at an incredible 3-disc live recording from one of the most legendary and iconic bands of all time, led by one of the greatest musicians of all time. I am talking about, of course, the one and only Return to Forever, and this is their 3-disc live recording that came out in 2012 from their 2011 tour, The Mothership Returns. So, as everyone remembers, the classic Return to Forever lineup of Chick Corea, Meola, Stanley, Clarke, and Lenny White got back together in 2008 and went on a massive reunion tour, which culminated in an amazing 3-disc live recording called Returns. And unfortunately, that reunion would be short lived as Aldo Meola would leave and resume his solo career, leaving just Chick Corea, Stanley Clarke, and Lenny White, who would then embark on a series of acoustic trio gigs with some guest appearances from original guitarist Bill Connors and legendary singer Chaka Khan and legendary violinist Jean Luc Ponty. So, fast forward to 2011, Chick Corea would expand Return to Forever into a quintet with the addition of Elektric Band guitarist Frank Gamable and violinist Jean Luc Ponty, and they would go on a massive world tour which culminates in this 3-disc live recording called The Mothership Returns, which is 2 discs and a DVD. And this band, this lineup, which was dubbed RTF4, is absolutely tremendous. I mean, look at the names you've got here. You've got Chick Corea on piano and keyboards, Stanley Clarke on bass, Lenny White on drums, Jean Luc Ponty on violin, and Frank Gamable on guitar. That's some serious, heavy star power just by those names alone. I mean, you look at their combined history, it's legendary, and there's no weak link here whatsoever. And to me, this is a great continuation to the classic RTF lineup, and whew, this is some killer stuff here. So, a lot of the material that's featured on here is, of course, classic RTF material, and there's also some classic Stanley Clarke material as well. It's all here, and wow, these guys together, it's just monstrous. I mean, some serious heavyweights here in this lineup of Return to Forever. So let's have a look. So there is the band. Some great shots there. So there we are. There are the 5 maestros themselves. And also we've got a little bit of a backstory about how this incarnation of RTF came to be what it is, and some highlights of the 2011 tour. And we got the track listing as well on both discs. So on disc 1, we've got Medieval Overture, Senor Mouse, The Shadow of Lo / Sorceress, Renaissance, and then on disc 2 we've got After the Cosmic Rain, The Romantic Warrior, Concerto de Arajuz / Spain, The Iconic School Days, and Beyond the Seventh Galaxy. And then on the bonus disc we've got some live performances from that tour, as well as a documentary about Return to Forever inside the music. So there are some words from Chick Corea himself. And we've got some words from Stanley Clarke, some words from Lenny White, And we got a few words from Jean Luc Ponty. And last but not least, we've got a few words from Frank Gamable, who is actually the only musician to have ever played in both iconic Chick Corea led ensembles, which are Return to Forever and, of course, the Elektric Band. So, not a bad little thing to have in your resume. Return to Forever and the Elektric Band. Can't really go wrong with either of them, to be honest. And we got some more highlights from the shows. And some production notes here as well. All the different keyboards they used. And this live album was produced by Chick Corea, Stanley, Clarke, and Lenny White. Not bad. Not bad at all. Can't go wrong really with either of those guys. And there we go. Some more credits as well. So, funny enough, a few of these words were actually from Robert Trujillo from Metallica. Not bad. Not bad at all. Imagine if he and Chick Corea teamed up. I think the world would have been ready for that. That would have been something for sure. So it's a great follow-up to Return to Forever Returns. The Mothership Returns. So it's a great follow-up, and all five of these musicians, they really put it out there, and they're just on top form. Chick Corea, amazing as always on piano and keyboards. Stanley Clarke on acoustic and electric bass, rock solid, one of the greatest bass players on the planet. Lenny White, tremendous drumming as always. As I said before, Lenny White can play any style of music you put in front of him. Jean Luc Ponty's violin playing really adds a nice little extra flavour to the music. And what more can you say? He's one of the greatest violin players of all time. And Frank Gamable, what more can you say? The man is one of the greatest guitar players on the planet, the master of the sweep picking. He plays acoustic and electric guitars, and he does a great job following Al Di Meola. Very few guitarists can follow Al Di Meola. It's not an easy challenge, but Frank Gamable not only steps up to the challenge of following Al Di Meola, but he just takes the ball and just runs all the way to the finish line. He does a tremendous job playing the Al Di Meola parts, but still staying true to his own guitar playing. And if I was going to form a modern RTF lineup and I wanted a new guitarist, I definitely would choose Frank Gamable or someone like that, because Frank Gamable is no slouch whatsoever. He's one of the greatest guitar players of all time. And him and Ponty together with the classic trio of Corea, Clarke, and White, yeah, you've got a supergroup for the ages. And there's so much history between all five of these guys, not just with Corea, Clarke, and White, who make up three of the four members of the classic lineup of RTF. You've got Chick Corea and Frank Gamable from the classic lineup of the Elektric Band. Jean Luc Ponty, of course, has played with Mothership Orchestra and Frank Zappa, and he's also played with Stanley Clarke as, part of the Right of Strings trio, also with Al Di Meola. So, there's a lot of history between all five of these musicians. And you know what? This is a great follow-up to the classic RTF lineup. They don't miss a beat, and my only downside, I just wish there was a studio album from this incarnation, because wow, these guys absolutely rock. So the standout tracks for me on disc one are Medieval Overture, The Shadow of Low / Sorceress, and Renaissance. And on disc two, the standout tracks for me is, of course, Romantic Warrior and School Days. And a lot of these tracks, they're all quite long, all clocking in at 12 minutes, 16 minutes, 19 minutes, 18 minutes. They're quite long tracks here. And the DVD, which is the bonus disc of this 3-disc live edition, is only featuring 2 tracks, but I would have liked to have had maybe an entire concert from one of the shows from the tour, because this is such an amazing band. And even though we got 2 tracks here, which are very long anyway, I just would have liked to have had a whole concert, because this incarnation of RTF never toured the UK, and just would have been nice to have had a whole live show documenting this lineup. But you can't have it always. But at least we've got 2 tracks here, so I can't complain too much. But I just would have liked to have had at least one whole complete show like we had for Returns. Just would have been a nice thing to have. Wow, tremendous stuff here. So there you have it. Return to Forever, the Mothership returns. I wouldn't like to say who was the standout guy in this incarnation of RTF, but everyone really gets to shine and they really burn. And what an amazing band, this lineup of RTF was. And this lineup would disband as everyone would go off and resume their own solo careers. But wow, this is nice little documents of the 2011 tour from RTF4, with some tremendous stuff and great reworkings of some classic material of the 1970s. So there you have it. Return to Forever, the Mothership returns. Fantastic live recording. And sadly, we wouldn't see this incarnation of RTF get back together, as we all know Chick Corea sadly passed away in 2021, but his spirit and his legacy live on, and this is a nice little document to look back on during this incredible period for Return to Forever, and watching this unbelievable band of musicians really burn it up on the stage. So that's going to be it from me. I am going to wrap this up now. What's your favourite disc from Return to Forever, The Mothership Returns? Is it disc 1, or is it disc 2, or is it the bonus disc, the DVD? And what's your favourite track from disc 1? Is it Medieval Overture, Senor Mouse, The Shadow of Low / Sorceress, Renaissance, or is your favourite tracks from disc 2 After the Cosmic Rain, Romantic Warrior, Concerto de Arrangeurs / Spain, or School Days, or Beyond the Seventh Galaxy, or do you enjoy the entire DVD? There's no right or wrong answer. We all have our favourites. You know what to do, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave your thoughts and comments down below, and I will see all of you next time for another edition of the Jazz Albums Review Series. So until next time, take care, everybody, and stay safe. And once again, as always, much appreciated. Thanks for listening.